What do you mean it's all a test? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 6 signs that the universe, or life, is testing you. Sit tight. Human beings deny their nature for many reasons. The pressures of family or culture, or even fear of our own greatness, may initiate the abandonment of our own authenticity. So as we're going through a transformative process of trying to create better versions of ourselves or create a better reality or manifest certain things in our lives, sometimes things pop up and it's almost like we have this connection and the universe is like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to be this person? So just like that test you took in school that you hated, there was something about it that actually helped you grow, helped you recognize your mistakes or things that maybe you didn't know. It helped you evolve as a person. Life can throw us loops, as we all know, and it's almost like if you ever seen YouTube videos, unboxing videos where they're unboxing some mysterious product or something that, ooh, it's very exciting. It's almost like we're unboxing ourselves. What could be in the box? What? Hi. Sign number 1 is that sometimes the universe, it brings up, it resurfaces. You may be feeling old people see old people pop into your life, or old friends or boyfriends and girlfriends, old behaviors that you thought you were over. People, places, and things resurface that maybe you haven't experienced in a while, and not necessarily for the better. Like things that were kind of toxic to us or didn't make us feel good about ourselves, things that maybe we thought we were over. This is a true test because sometimes it's a little reminder that, hey, we still have little remnants of this stuff, this little ickiness still stuck to our shoe. Once we are trying to transform ourselves, create our reality, raise our vibration perhaps, try to get on a different parallel timeline, one that's better for us, where we attract abundance into our lives and love into our lives and money and all kinds of stuff. Universe is like, are you sure? And it starts resurfacing things that are bubbling up, things we need to actually clear out that we thought we cleared out, but we did not actually clear out. So it's very smart in a way. Nature is very smart. The universe is very smart in that it reminds us of what we still need to let go of. It reminds us that, hey, you still have a little remnant stuck here, and you're not going to allow yourself to really move into this different reality unless you take care of this stuff. Number 2, something completely throws us off our game. Something breaks, literally, or breaks down. So this could be a loss of a job, a loss of somebody breaks up with you, a loss of maybe a friend you were close to. It's a reminder to ourselves that sometimes what we think is the answer, or what we think is set in stone, is not actually. A lot of times things are gateways into something else, or into something better, or into something that our higher self wants for us, what's in our best interest. So when we suddenly, somebody dumps us, we get fired, we feel like it's the end of the world and it pulls us back down. But it's a little reminder to shift our perspective on those things, that, these are often gateways to something else. I can't tell you how many times in my life where I thought that this one thing I was doing or job I was in or was like the answer. This is it. This is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then it all fell apart. I got too egotistical about it or happy about it, I don't know. But it all fell apart and the world was crashing down around me, until I realized that, wow, if that didn't happen 5 years ago, I never would have met this person or this friend, or I never would have gotten this position and had this experience. So you have to realize that things in life are often gateways, and it's our little reminder from the universe that, hey, put it into perspective for yourself. Number 3 sign, body sensations, illnesses, diseases. You keep getting sick. You feel run down. Often, this is like, hey, something's out of alignment in your life. You're doing something right now that's not true to your nature. You know, you ever wonder why some people are like sick all the time? Well, they're doing something that's not true to them. Because if you're doing something that's true to you, you actually enhance it. You have more energy. It doesn't feel like a struggle. It doesn't feel like torture. So you have to look into that. And sometimes, you know, the world is good at giving us red glaring signs and we don't pay attention to them. We don't pay attention to why we feel just awful in our bodies, because something is awful on the outer world. The inner and the outer are not matching up. You know, I had a patient the other day who was telling me, we were talking about the rainforest for some reason, and he was talking about the trees in the rainforest, and whether or not this is true, but I believe it. You know, trees in the rainforest, all the animals, the birds and the squirrels, he used the example of, they each take up like a different section of the tree. So you have like the small birds toward the bottom of the tree, larger birds toward the top, squirrels in the middle, and it's almost like apartment tenants. And they each have their own section, and they don't try to override, you know, one another's territory. And also how animals, they procreate at different times of the year. So it's almost like Mother Nature, just instinctually, knows how to not like crowd the space in their little tree house, right? Where, you know, it's overpopulated, or people are, you know, animals are on top of one another. And I thought about how, you know, connected animals are to nature, obviously, but how disconnected human beings become nature and to their true selves, right? So that's why we get sick, and that's why things feel off, and that's why things always feel like a struggle, because we don't align ourselves to that. We get very disassociated, just from the world we live in, the society we live in, how we're conditioned and all that kind of thing. So I thought that was very, very interesting, that a lot of times it's self-created, how we pull ourselves farther and farther away from things that are just ingrained in us. Number 4 sign, the synchronicities suddenly stop. 205? That's not an angel number. Where's that spirit animal I asked for? We feel like nobody's listening. We feel so disconnected from everything around us, nature even. Sometimes the synchronicities will stop. It's almost like the universe is telling us, I'm not gonna hand these to you anymore because you're becoming a little too reliant on them. So what happens as we're going through, especially people who are focusing on, you know, spirituality, having spiritual awakening type stuff, and they're really into, you know, how everything is connected, and seeing signs and getting guidance from the universe to help throughout life, and if I know, am I on the right path, you know? When those stop, then it's almost like we revert back to like a disgruntled teenager stomping our foot saying, the sign stopped, what's wrong? Like, why won't I be getting any signs? Why don't I know what direction to go, and blah, blah, blah. And it's the universe guiding us and reminding us that we've become too externally focused, right? We've lost our ability to trust ourselves and our own intuition. So when the signs and the synchronicities stop, that is your sign. That is your sign that, hey, you're paying too much attention out here, relying on your outer world to guide you, when you should be listening to yourself more, your gut, your intuition. Number 5 sign, the opportunity from the outside to conform or squeeze yourself back into a box. So what do I mean by this? So, you know, you would think opportunity, that's a good thing, right? But sometimes life throws opportunities at us, and they're not always for our highest good. So say somebody proposes to you, but it's not really who you want to marry. You really can't stand him. But what if nobody else ever proposes? Or you get a job offer, and it's money, it's moolah, it's good, right? But it's not really what you want to do. Or a family member contacts you and like, oh, can I please, you know, move in with you and you can take care of me, like a distant cousin or somebody you don't even talk to. Sometimes life throws us instances and opportunities doesn't mean that we have to take them, but sometimes we feel obligated to put ourselves back into a box of conformity, or what our parents want for us, or other people, what we think other people want from us. And it's not always for our highest good. It's a test that is almost like, all right, we're going to throw these opportunities to see if you're serious about taking a risk, to see if you're serious about maybe being the outcast in your family and people not getting you or understanding you. Or is it easier? Sure, it's easier to just get paid with a desk job, or it's easier to not feel lonely because maybe you're scared that, okay, somebody might not propose to me ever again, or I might not have the opportunity again to make money, to find love, for all these things, even though those things are not the best choices. And inside they're not the best choices. So sometimes we're thrown for a loop when we're on a path of personal development or enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, awakening. We're on a path and we're cruising along, and then something pops up, and it's almost like we doubt ourselves. We doubt the path that we're on. We doubt because now there's this opportunity, and maybe I should take it because it's easier. It's a simpler way of being. And number 6 sign that the universe is testing you. And this is an interesting one. You often feel like an imposter in your life. Now, you're probably wondering, well, if I feel like an imposter, doesn't that mean that's like not me, it's not sitting with me? So here's the thing. I had a mentor years ago, and she brought this up, that one of the biggest signs of you being on your path, or she would call it a golden path, somebody's golden path, basically living as true to themselves and really showing up in the world as them, and this being part of your path. One of the biggest signs was feeling like an imposter. And what happens here is that whenever we are making a very personal decision or a spiritual decision, or we're trying to shift something about ourselves to, say, a better vibrational frequency, where we're trying to attract more abundance and good things into our lives and opportunities into our lives, there's this point where the brain becomes confused. And our brain is always designating or assigning meaning to the sensations and the feelings that it gets. It's a period of adjusting to this new, non-conditioned you. So think of it this way. If somebody is thinking strictly from the left brain, right? They live their life all left brain, very academic, school focused, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly they try using their right side of their brain more, the creative side, which thinks outside the box a lot more. They have trouble. They're like, I can't do it. I'm not creative, right? All these things, all these doubts creep up because they've been conditioned to only be left brain thinking. They grew up all academics and math and very linear. So to think outside the box feels extremely uncomfortable. And it's the same when you are trying to live in your truth and live against the grain of a lot of things that you were taught, or a lot of things on how maybe society works, but that doesn't really internally agree with you. So there's part of you that knows this, that knows that, okay, that's not for me that way. But the other part is I'm gonna be judged, I don't, those people are gonna, the perception of it is off kilter. So that's why we often can feel this way. So if you're the type to get test anxiety, no worries. The unboxing process of yourself can be tricky sometimes, but it's awareness of when these things are popping up in your reality, and not attaching to them so much from the point of, oh, this is breaking down, this is going wrong, I was doing so well until this happened. Look at it more from the approach of, okay, universe is testing me, life is testing me, because it wants to make sure that this is truly me, shining in my light, that I am truly gonna stand my ground and live as me in the world, and not for other people all the time. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe. Please help support this channel. I appreciate all the support, all the watches. I really, really do. And until next time, I will see you on the next video. Peace.